Hey y'all. So today we'll be speaking about respect. You know what I'm saying? Respect. And of course, I came back with the breakdown. So within respect, we have reasoning, evaluate, stability, perfectionism, emotional, connection, time, right? Even with all of that, of course, that's within the relationship. So within the relationship, you have two people, right? He maneuvers through life one way with all of his actions, and then she maneuvers through life in one way with all of her actions. If y'all trying to be together for a long time, who knows, maybe even forever, you guys have to turn the separate ways how you guys maneuver in life and turn it into a us. And then we have evaluate. Me personally, what I like to do within a relationship, because no relationship is perfect. I know we sit here, we watch all these celebrities and all that. Luck. We are all human. There is going to be some type of miscommunication. There's not going to be the best communication. That's why you have to take the time out to sit here and evaluate. I like to, if there was an argument or whatever, I give it like a few days. I'll be like, hey, can we talk? I'm just trying to make sure that everything is good. Is anything missed? Is there anything we both need to work on? You know what I'm saying? It's very important. And then, of course, stability comes into play because I'm sure the man and the woman wants to feel safe in what they have going on. You can't sit here and have a partner and when certain issues arise, or maybe it was a miscommunication, maybe something uneasy happened, and that's when the whole I need space and this and that. If you don't feel safe within a relationship, whatever y'all was just arguing about, it's not gonna make it any better because one person wants to take space or they need space for a good little minute. That's why you need to feel safe whatever you put yourself into. And of course, the perfectionism. There is no such thing as that. It's just not. I don't understand why people feel within the relationship, hey, I could have been with this person and it was like a no-brainer for them. And then the other person is probably looking like, well, have you not realized I'm not that person? And there's no one perfect. Like, absolutely. Here on this earth, you will not come across a perfect person. And if you do, if anybody gonna tell you, I'm gonna tell you, they are not real. Like, absolutely not. They could have sat there and listened to everything that you were looking for, and they temporarily turned into that person until you gave them exactly what they wanted. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry. There's no perfect person on this world. What you can do is you can take the time out and sit there and water your grass to make your situation perfect. Now that's a such thing, you know? If it's perfect for what you guys are looking for, but a person, absolutely not. Now, the emotional aspect. I'm not about to sit here and place it on the men because women can sit here and not share their feelings as well. But if it's the both of y'all and you trying to make it work, if something doesn't feel right, I'm not going to say sad, but if something happened and the other person is mad or you just feel tension or whatever, clearly you guys have to sit there and have a conversation like, hey, let's talk about it. It doesn't feel right. Like you're not being how you used to be. Like, what's going on? You have to say something because if you in it with me and you're deciding to keep everything to yourself, technically speaking, what is the point of it being in us if you're just going to hold it in? It doesn't make sense. That's going to cause more problems. Just let it out. Have a conversation. and the connection. How are you supposed to be with someone and you're trying to sit here and go off the looks or go off the body or listen to the type of conversations y'all have? And it's just like, wow, this is so intriguing. Okay, beautiful. It's intriguing, but what else comes with that though? Because you gotta understand, we all get older. So if you would it for the looks, at some point, without surgery or getting enhancements, that face is not gonna look the same way it did when y'all first met. So don't go based off the looks, because that person is not gonna sit here and look the same way for the rest of life. It's not. There has to be a deeper connection. For me personally, my connection would have to be my Christianity through God. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like nothing's going to work if He's not in the midst of it. If it's not approved by Him, you cannot force something to work. And of course, time. A lot of people think that we've known each other for this amount of time, so we do have history and all that. So we're not really looking at how long we've been together. I get it, but time has different meanings. It's not all about the history. You could sit here and be in a relationship with someone and you're just like, yo, you never be chilling with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's always something. Like, you just have to go, or I feel like I'm not even a part of the free time that you do have. It's always something else. And just like I said, I'm not doing any gender basis within this without a full explanation. We'll put it like that. But time has different meanings. If you're trying to grow, that means your time and your effort has to be within your partner. So, with all of this, I wanted to sit here and talk about, how in certain situations, it could be the man or the woman that wants to sit here and go back in the day with all of the standards like, well, I'm a go for the ladies first, but don't trip. I'm with y'all though. You could come across a woman that's just like, look, you're the man. You're supposed to be paying all the bills and all that, so I don't have anything to worry about. And who knows, the man might say that as well. Like, look, I'm paying majority of the bills. I don't understand why when I come home from time to time, sometimes dinner is not ready. Sometimes the house isn't as clean as I want it to be. My whole thing though is if each gender is trying to put standards on something, you got to understand, if we going to go back, let's go all the way back. If it boils down to that, that means the man is working and paying every ounce of bill. You know what I'm saying? Everything. And I'm not talking about just the rent and those bills. Like, if I have a cell phone, that means you gonna pay my cell phone bill, you gonna pay my car insurance, like, you doing everything. If you expect to get off work and come home and the house is spotless, like, it's beautiful, candles are lit and all that, and food is here, and of course, if I'm the woman of the house and I don't have a jerk, I don't have a job because the man takes care of everything, so I'm in this house taking care of all the children. Who knows, I might be pregnant. So if we doing standards, let's do it like that. And when it boils down to the perfectionism, that thing, it kind of like boils my blood a little bit. Because I don't understand why people think that there's a such thing as a perfect relationship, or there's a such thing as a perfect person, and it's just like, hey, why can't you be like so and so? Why doesn't our relationship look like so and so? You don't understand. Looking at all of this social media, why would they sit here and put all of the troubles that they're going through online? They ain't gonna do that. That's what them being together, trying to work it out is about. Again, maybe for them, their relationship is perfect to them. And I'm in agreement with that 100%. But there is a way to make the relationship perfect. You need to take the time out. Remember, I said T for time. You need to take the time out and sit here and make that relationship perfect if that's truly what you're looking for, because you're not going to be with the perfect person. Everyone comes with flaws, and I hate it when you come across a couple, or maybe just like a person, like, hey, you know what I'm saying, like, I want to be in a new relationship, but I don't want to be with someone that comes with baggage. Like, are you crazy? And I hate it when people think the only baggage that comes along is a person that comes with a child or children, or a person that got a divorce. It's more to that. Baggage can be baggage of any sort. You could sit here and come from a broken household, and maybe you're unsure of how to love properly. Maybe you never received the proper love. You're not trying to look deep into it, but you got baggage too. And another thing a lot of us fail to realize, at the end of the day, we're going to be in a relationship with someone that comes with baggage. That's it. We already checked that off. Now, you have to think about it like, okay, I got with him or her and they've explained all the baggage that they're coming with. I see the way they act. Is this something that I'm comfortable with? If you're comfortable with it, though, you can't sit here and keep bringing it up to that person's face, because you knew good and well what you were getting yourself into. You know what I'm saying? And just like for the other person, you can't sit here and be like, it's a lie. I mean, they were honest. I mean, once you sit here and say that's enough for me, we can work through this together. Of course, when times get hard, you can't sit here and throw in their face. So, well, I mean, I've accepted you with all that you came with, because that could potentially start an argument. I mean, it really could, because they could sit here and throw back at you. Let's not forget the baggage you came with. I'm just trying to be kind enough not to bring it to your face, though, but you sit here and every time we argue, you bring it to my face, and you like to bring it up because you're trying to be funny. So that's where the whole evaluate comes in. When those issues come into place, me personally, that's when I feel like the communication comes in. Like, we need to have a conversation, because on my end, a lot of things aren't making sense, and let's talk about it. Let's get to the root of it. But even within that, that's why I like to say you need to be very, very in tune with the partner that you pick, because you could come across a partner when you're trying to have a conversation and bring up certain things that happen, and you're just looking for the reassurance, and they get mad because you bringing something up. They could hit you with a, I thought we moved past that, why are you bringing up what happened last week? Hello, we never spoke about it. That's why. And if you get that mad because I'm just bringing something up and I'm trying to get reassurance on it, so, maybe it was my fault. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was your fault. If we sit here and talk about it, we can talk about steps that, maybe we made some incorrect steps going forward. We should just stay away from doing this and that, or saying this and that. And if that other person gets that mad about it, it could potentially be like a red flag, because what if you guys get into something, a little further in the relationship, and who knows, maybe you want to sit here and have a baby, and God forbid, what if something, it's a certain situation and you're trying to get input for it, and it's just like, really? I thought we moved past this when it was just us. And now you trying to bring it in and we have a child together. You know what I'm saying? That's why I always say be in tune with it, because I feel like even when you do pick a partner, and of course, no one's like you, they have certain ways, but being within that relationship with a partner that doesn't necessarily like to communicate or is able to be accountable for the things that happen, that can kind of venture off onto you. And you could start looking at little things and you're forgetting to take accountability, and it could change you as a person. I get everyone says no, no one can change you. That's a choice that you made. I agree. But within the same stance, if you're sitting here being with the person and trying to still remain you as you are and trying to break down the walls and everything, I'm sorry, those walls are not going to come down unless that person is ready to break them down to let you in. I get it. We like to sit here and say, we talked, we communicated, the walls should be broken. Because we cannot change people out here. I'm sorry, we can't. They have to understand that accountability is number one. You just have to. Once they understand, like, wow, I was in the wrong, then they could start breaking down their own walls, you know? And like I was saying, stability. I mean, in order for everything to come into place, there has to be some sort of a safe haven. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I can't feel safe with my partner and the world is attacking me all the time, what is the purpose of this? Serves no purpose. And oh yeah, a little Gina talk. So I'm trying to think. Yes, I was in a relationship like this. I was dealing with someone. Every time I bring up an issue, it was always that issue created another issue. Like, you were just so annoying. Why do you keep bringing this up? And I was sitting there telling the person, like, are you crazy? If I'm trying to sit here and have a conversation with you and you're getting mad because I'm bringing something up that you did, how does that work? How are we supposed to get in a better place if you can't even understand, like, oh snap, I really did something to her? Like, I really made her feel some type of way. If you can't even realize that, what is the purpose of this? And evaluating and everything, right? Just trying to double check, just trying to make sure everything's okay. Every time I would do that, oh my gosh, another conversation. I'm just like, wow. If it's that much for you, don't even worry about it. It's cool. If you say we cool, we cool. Now that I'm older, I understand that was wrong. At that moment, I should have left. But just like I said, everything takes time. Like, as you grow, whether you're with the same person or maybe you just realize, like, enough is enough. I'm not doing this anymore. But sometimes it does take time because even though the red flags are right there in our face, we look at our partner and we're just like, like, I just love you so much and something's gonna change. Like, I know that for a fact. Stop telling yourself that. It's not gonna change. If that other person is not trying to sit here and put the same effort and growth like you are, I'm sorry, it does not take one person to make a relationship work when there's both of y'all in it. It takes two. But even within that, I'm not with the whole 50-50 because that's not correct. Because us as like a single person, we're not even 100% where we are. So you can't sit here and get in a relationship with someone and expect 50-50 because what if you're experiencing hard times in life? What if you're only able to give them 20%? And they're the one putting in the full 80%. And then what if it's a rough time for them and they can only give you 20? You can't sit here and be mad at that because your partner can sit here and be like, hey, now, let's not forget. Remember when you was low? And I'm not even just talking about funds though. I'm talking about in all aspects, because we all have breakdowns, and that's what the safe haven is for. Like, I'm trying to come to you because I feel myself falling apart. And if you're my partner, you should be here for me. I shouldn't have to beg you. I shouldn't have to complain about it. This should be something that you want to do just for the love that you say that you have for me. You know what I'm saying? And don't even get me started on this perfectionism. Yeah, I was expected to be like this perfect person. And it's just like I get it, you know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't come as correct like you should have, but I get it. Oh, when I tell y'all, I was just accepting it all like it was nothing. Like, oh, okay, no worries, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna do better. That sounds insane. You know what I'm saying? I get it if your partner does come across and it's just like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, we've had all these conversations that you wanted to have, and it just seems like it's still not getting to you. Like, is it something that I'm doing on my end? I don't understand. That's different. And if we're talking about perfection, that means with me trying to do better, you have to be trying to do better as well, because no one's perfect. And the emotional aspect, I would say the type of person that I am, like, if I love you, I mean, like, I love you. Like, I can be a bit clingy. So my emotions are like always there. But what do you do if you come across, like your partner, and they're not really with the emotions and all that? How do you break that down? Me personally, I feel like if we're trying to sit here and do this together, even though this is something that I've never done or I always hid for you and for the way I feel about you, I'm going to try and make it work. I'm not perfect though, but I'm going to try. And I'm okay with that. But even with that, if you're telling me words are coming out of your mouth and I'm telling you it's cool, that's okay. But but you can't sit here and say, I'm going to work on the communication and I'm going to tell you more how I feel. And we just did that on Friday. And then when Saturday comes, mind you, I said Friday. And then when Saturday comes, I don't hear from you like that. I don't see you, and you just come back into my life whenever you feel like. Do you not understand how disrespectful that is? Like, do you not understand how that could seriously push someone away from you? Like, how do you expect me to feel safe with you? It doesn't make sense. And of course, everyone knows, like, there has to be a connection. We already spoke about that in the time. I'm just trying to let y'all know I've been through some things as well. I do not want you guys to think, yeah, she coming with it on. No, this is just based off experience. And of course, everyone in the world, we go through different experiences. That's why when I get in my little moods and certain things do come to me, I make it a habit of talking about it, because you never know what somebody's going through. Maybe they're struggling with something, and hopefully hearing from someone that's been through it at one point in time, I want to tell y'all, you know what I'm saying? Like, it gets hard. It does. Sometimes you feel like you want to give up. Sometimes you feel like you can't do it. If you feel that way within the relationship, I would really say sit here and have like a conversation, not like just trying to sit here and having conversations about like the same thing. Me, honestly, I feel like if you have to sit here and keep bringing it to the other person's attention, even though they gave you words from their mouth, they're just showing you that they do not respect you. Because if they truly respected you, it would be a different outcome. It would make no sense to sit here and keep talking about it. And honestly, after that conversation, if you keep seeing the same thing happen over and over and over again, it's no longer, I'm sorry. That thing done turned into a habit. So you have one or two options. Like I always say, you either call it a day or you have to do whatever you feel is right for you in that moment. I just want y'all to be safe with these partners out here. And as always, I really hope that this helps someone out there. And I will speak to you guys next Sunday.